We'll call this meeting to order. This is public comments and communications. We have 2 people signed up, but I believe you're on for an item on the agenda. Would you like to wait till then?
Excuse me, Doug. I'll just take the roll quick. Then you got it.
It might be my first meeting.
Not a problem. Jennifer Baratka.
Here.
Michelle Dravnik.
Here.
Doug Erickson.
Here.
Jordan Spacek.
Here.
And Patricia Stephen.
Here.
Thank you.
Mr. Erickson, if I may, at the last county board meeting, one of the constituents indicated they can't hear us online. So if you speak loud and close to your mic, that's not just for you, it's for everybody.
Okay. Thank you. All right. You would like to wait till we're
comfortable to wait if you are.
okay. Let's
Because you've got a page.
do that.
As long as the committee has no issues. I don't see any. It would be up, the committee should waive that.
Okay.
But
that's all
any
right.
issues with
Committee,
them waiting till the item?
the item there.
I don't have any issues with that.
There you go. You're good.
All right. Meeting minutes from April 7th. Looking for a motion to approve those.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Michelle,
I'll second.
second by Jordan. Motion's carried. Next meeting date, which that's
Excuse me,
already on the
Doug.
schedule.
Sorry, one more picking on just a vote of yay or nay for the
Oh.
minutes. You got it.
Okay, all in favor on the minutes, say yay.
Aye.
Any opposed? And then the next is next meeting, which is on the schedule for June 2nd. And that, do we need that meeting? Or is that one that we'll question when time comes?
It's really up to Joe, but usually we keep it on the calendar, and then once we get closer, if there's not enough agenda items or
We probably can skip that one, but
We'll see
can-
when it gets closer.
yeah, we can touch base in.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. July though, we'll keep it on the schedule.
yeah, July would be. I'll look quick.
Cause then we don't have a board meeting in July.
It'll be July 9th, I believe, right? Is that what the schedule shows?
I have the 7th.
Or sorry, Tuesdays. Yeah, the 7th. Yeah, there's no board meeting in July, but you shouldn't
So if
have a
there's-
resolution.
Yeah, so if there's something that had to happen with the full board, we'd have to have a meeting then in June.
June, yeah. We'll watch that. If there's nothing that would need approval until August, then we'll wait till August.
All right. Moving on to buildings and grounds, project updates, Josh.
Morning. I don't have a lot to cover today, so I'd be short and sweet, but I can give you just, because we do have some newer members to this board, so I can just give you a little brief introduction or overview of my department, I guess. So my department covers the courthouse here, the sheriff's department, or the safety building, which would be the sheriff's department, and the jail, and then the normal building across town here. And we also take care of a lot of the airport, terminal, and highway department. We do have 2 outreach offices for human services that are in Park Falls and Prentice. And so those are the buildings we take care of in the county. I'm sorry, Concrete Park also. We take care of the Concrete Park along with Joe. They kind of do the grounds work, and we do the buildings there. So,
Josh, can I ask how many people are in your department?
yep. I've got it's myself, and I have 1 full-time maintenance tech. Then we have like a maintenance / custodian that he cleans the sheriff's department for a few hours a day or the morning time frame, and then he comes and works with us for the afternoons. As far as maintenance goes, that's our 3. And then the custodians are also under me. So we have 1 custodian for the courthouse, 1 for the normal building, and then a couple part-timers for these outreach offices. So that's a little overview, I guess. So as far as what we've been doing right now, with the springtime, we got all the equipment changed over from all our winter, from winter to summer. So getting all the mowers, we use the mowers for plowing and snow removal in the winter, all the sidewalks, and then they get changed back over to the lawn mowers for the summer. So we've been getting everything cleaned up, fixed up. There's lots of repairs that need to be done. So getting ready for summer now. So, but our biggest project here in the last month has been the courthouse. We've been doing some updates for the entire courthouse. You can probably see all the painting in the hallways, a lot of sign updates. That's the majority of the work that's been going on the last month. So.
And one of the sign projects we're working on is, again, it's more to direct traffic, to help if there's an emergency, lets people know where to go. We haven't finished it up yet, but you can see, like Josh said, we painted. We're working on these overhead signs. So right now, there used to be little signs at every door saying like, this is the clerk's office, this is the boardroom. We're doing large hanging signs. This one was our sample one, so we know it's the right size. We know it's the font we wanted, the color. We are ordering their flat rather than shiny. So as you can see, the problem right now is it reflects the light. So when they're done, Josh was holding it, it'll be more, it won't be as shiny. It'll be a flat color. So it should, they look really nice when they're up. They'll help direct traffic. The reason we're doing this type of hanging, so the end of this, the north end of the building, all the doors are closed to public access, so it's employee only. And then all citizens, anybody coming to the building will come in the east and west entrances here on the south end of the building. So as you come in, we made sure there's all new signage on the walls, updated to where to go. And then as you look up, you'll look down the hall and you'll be able to see all the hanging offices. Downstairs, they'll have the workforce development, the child support. They'll have an elevator one along with probation parole. On this floor, we'll have human resources, office administration, boardroom, clerk's, treasurer's office. And then on the end, it'll say elevator, bathroom, and register of deeds. Upstairs, you'll see the courtroom. We won't have a hanging sign for the jury room and the judge because that's not technically a public access area. So nothing that was like, we didn't put the boiler room is going to be downstairs. That's not a public access. So anything public access, probate will have a sign, courtroom 2, bathrooms, elevator. So we had the sample. We've had it for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. When we got it, it was shiny. So we asked them to order a different product to make it flat. The individual who's doing the signs went on vacation for a week and a half, so that's where we're waiting for our updated example. We're also, you can't see it here, but above each door, we'll be doing vinyl numbering. So if there is an emergency, when we call 911, it does show over in the sheriff's office, there's like, if you ever seen like the stock ticker, it goes across, it'll say, 911 call coming in, and it says, and that's internally, this is system internally, it'll say like Office of Administration, Nick Trimner, room 106, 911 or whatever. It says something. So then officers will know, or firefighters or whoever it might be will have room numbers. Also citizens, they get stuff that says come to room 106 for the pay your taxes. It'll have the number above the door. The other thing we did, like Josh was saying, painted. Prior to this, the fire extinguishers were the same color as the wall. So we had a lot of people didn't realize there was 3 of them on this floor because they're not hidden, but they're out of sight, out of mind. Josh's crew painted them all red, so they really stand out now. And then where this little hand is, they're gonna get little triangle signs that say fire extinguisher. Again, it's all little stuff that'll update the building so that we can be safer if there is a issue, a fire, something like that. This door, you can see we put it'll actually be painted the color of this side here, and then the stickers will go back on. But
Yeah, all the walls and door jambs and everything was painted. So.
And we do that every 8 to 10 years just because
It's been a while, so yeah, it needed to be need to be done.
So if prior to those who haven't been here, we did the ceiling. It used to be a metal ceiling. We did that, what, 2 years, 3 years ago now?
Yeah, I believe so.
3 years, and then updated all the lighting. So it used to be old light bulbs, incandescent, fluorescent. Which ones are they? Whichever. The long light bulbs. Now they're all LED, so they last longer. They're brighter,
Efficient.
way more efficient.
We also have, we did some, was it last year we did some office moving around the courthouse here. So some of the offices with revamping, they'll need to be repainted too here coming up. So the hallways are just getting finished up, and then we're going to move to the offices here.
We also have one other project coming is in the Register of Deeds office. If you've ever been in the DA's office or the judge's office, clerk of courts, they have like a second entrance. So citizens walk in, there'd be a counter with a wall that has like a service window. So there's not direct access to the employees or the information behind there. So Josh and his team will be building I guess it's a vestibule, a little area that will, as a citizen, you come in and say, I want my birth certificate, whatever, there'll be a window for service, but it won't allow you to enter without permission.
Yeah, it looks like that'll be really nice when you get that signage up in the hallways.
Yeah, they do. When you see them, you're like, oh, that we've needed something like that to direct people. It'll be right in your face. You can't miss it.
Any questions on anything?
Can I enter the meeting? Is that okay? I'm sorry, I'm late.
You can sit down. Yep.
Thank you. Did I miss public comment yet?
You did.
I have just a small opportunity.
It's up to the chair.
Chair.
Yes, we need to, you can step up to the mic. We can do that now.
Thank you very much.
State your name, where you're from. If there's a button to turn the mic on there in the middle, state your name and you have 2 minutes.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for seeing me. My name is Samantha Anderson Fusak, and I am born and raised in Phillips, Wisconsin. Thank you for having my comment today. I know that I showed up to the meeting a little bit late. First, I actually wanted to mention a concern that I had about the jailhouse sign on the exterior from the street view. So everybody may know that has been here for a long time. It's the brown sign that says AD and then it gives a date and then it says jailhouse. Is everybody familiar with that sign that I'm speaking on?
I've never noticed it.
It's out front on the south side.
Yeah, it's right outside the police entryway. And so it's a brown sign with white lettering. If you look at the sign and you observe it, it is a dated sign. And in white, bright lettering, it says AD jailhouse, and it gives like dates from back from 1800. And so I'm excited to bring to you the opportunity of making that more up to date, as it is important because our signs actually demonstrate the capacity of the building they represent. So with it saying AD and giving those very old dates, it presents an image of something that is in times past, way past in the 1800s. So it's not to say that the historic value of the sign, because it is so old and has existed for a while, it's a great historical marker for the courthouse. However, what it depicts and what it represents the building as is not any longer accurate. There is a better way to update it. We don't have to take away the sign and its value. All that would be needed to update that representation would be established. I see outside the Dollar General store, they put up the new sign and it says established in 18, forgive me, I'm not sure of the date.
Thank you. That is 2 minutes. Thank you for your comment.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
right, that was your department update and financial report, correct, Josh? Or you got anything
Yeah, I
else?
basically gave you an overview of my
Everything.
department. I'm fully staffed right now, and everyone's healthy and at work, so that's good.
All right. Anybody got any questions for Josh? All
Just
right.
on number 6, did you go over that or did I miss
So
it?
we'll go with
Okay.
that now.
Okay,
I
yeah.
wasn't sure.
All right.
Yeah,
got
so
sidetracked.
Josh and I are just finalizing all the stuff. We talked about it last time that right now we want to get the project done, but it'll be through the budget process. We're not going to try to go outside the budget to say, oh, we need, to get this done. We just got to put the dates on it. Josh had one follow up with me on it for, I don't remember if it was voltage or watts or whatever the
Couple changes just in
Yeah.
the writing of it, I
inputs
guess,
and
so.
outputs. So that should go out here in the next month or so with a due date during that budget time. So we're still working on it. We know it's a priority, but it's not oh my gosh, it's failed. We need to do something.
So this will be a project for next year then, on next year's budget.
Yep. So instead of trying to do a resolution outside of the budget to say use the capital improvement funding, we'll just say through the budget process, we recommend using the capital improvement funding, just so then you have a full picture of what we're going to do in 2027 with all the projects.
Just to give you a backstory on this, this came about several months ago. We had a failure in one of the buckets in our main switch panel. It's the main electrical that comes into the courthouse that feeds this entire building. And with getting that bucket replaced, it's such an old unit that we kind of were able to get the last one, which is a refurbed bucket, and even that cost quite a bit of money. So we started looking into, at some point we have to update this service here, and so that's where this all stems from, is updating that the whole switch gear panel that feeds the entire courthouse. So that's where this comes into play. When we had Peeper come in and actually do an initial look it over and see, it was still going to be several months out from even the time that we would order this, I guess, and get the final say so. But just to get the panel here and get all that work done, it's a several month process. So it's still down the road yet, but we're working on it, I guess.
And just because there's other things going on, we are on Excel Energy. We have nothing to do with Price Electric. Somebody asked the question of, is Price Electric making us change this switch? It has nothing to do with Price Electric. We're on Excel. It has to do with the age of the equipment and just a timing.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, can I ask? I'm glad it's going to be in the budget. It's a lot easier to work with it in the budget. But this time delay, what happens if it fails between now and then? Are we going to be in really dire straits, or is there a patch?
There'll be ways around it, but I may have to take a certain bucket, and depending on what goes out, I guess is what because each of those buckets will one's for the elevator per se, and one's right down the line for our HVAC stuff, and then for the main power sources for everyone's computers. So it's going to be a play on.
So in theory, you have a
around.
workaround that could get us through until the new one's installed.
Yes.
Right. And those workarounds are 2 to 3 month fixes, not forever.
Correct.
Right. So
As long
that's
as
why
long
we're
as we're
working
not
through it.
calling EMS or whoever to get us going, because we have absolutely no power in the building.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on electrical panel? And hopefully maybe we get some cheaper bids, seeing it's out there for a while for people looking for work too, instead of
Yep.
right now. All right, concludes buildings and grounds.
Thank you.
Forestry and Parks, Timber Sale Bids Awards. This is Joe. Maybe you want to give us a little overview of what your department does and employees and?
Sure. So the forestry department includes the forest and parks. So we have 92,000 acres we manage. And then the county parks. I did have Meredith send out kind of a overview that kind of shows, I guess, what we have as far as people. We have 5 full-time employees in the department. And then we do have caretakers for the main parks, campgrounds for that kind of take care of daily cleaning and watch over the parks a little bit. As far as parks go, you have Tim's Hill, we have the shooting range south of town, Cranberry Creek, Tuscobia Trailhead Park, Wisconsin Concrete Park, Salberg Lake and Smith Lake campgrounds. And then we have a handful of trailheads and smaller kind of day use areas that we take care of as well. So, take care of a bunch of trails as far as walking trails, a couple of motorized ATV type trails on the county. And then we have some dams, wildlife flowages that we take care of as well. So.
Busy place.
Yeah, always something to do, that's for sure.
All right, we can move into the timber sale bids.
So we had 21 tracks out, all but one sold, which was actually, for the way the markets are, kind of very surprising. So, which great for us. You get these on the books with contractors. So overall, same theme as always. Access is kind of the key. You get better price for better access, and that always kind of shows on these bids. As far as the worse the access, the lower the price you get, or closer to minimum. So the one that didn't sell, that's a tough one. That's a winter job, and there was some beaver action on the road going into it too, so that doesn't help either selling it. So,
Joe, just a quick question to note. Do we have any concern about one bidder getting the majority of the sales and being able to get them done?
Sure.
It's two bidders technically, really.
It's going to be one of those deals where you're going to be seeing them on extension, just
Sure.
the way it is.
Sure. Okay.
But it's going to go that way more and more. There's less and less contractors out there to actually have cut sales. So
Yeah.
it's kind of going the way of farming. You don't see a lot of family farms anymore, and
Yep.
you don't see a lot of small loggers. So.
How is it compared to last year? I mean, price wise
Lower, but like I said, getting the sales on that last bid opening, I think we carried over 2, 4, 5 jobs from last fall. Nobody even came in to buy them over the counter, which typically we'll sell a couple that way. Once they're advertised, once the person can come in and buy them at the minimum. We had nobody even come in for interest on those. So to sell them now was a good thing. So, but overall price lower, and kind of reflects the markets right now are tough. The supply demand, there's a lot of supply out there, and lower demand at the mills at this current time.
And if anybody's wondering why we've done red pine replanting, the last 2 sales, 1526 and 1626, will be a true testament to that in the future, hopefully. We should have started that 30 years ago, hopefully, but we didn't. But one sold for 180% and one sold for 159% value. So there's a big difference when it comes to the red pine sales.
If I may, regarding what you put out there for sale, just for the record, did carbon credits and our involvement with them have anything to do with how you manage this sale in our forest?
No, so like, and for new members too, the way that we go about this, there's a long-term schedule. All the whole forest is scheduled out as far as there's different compartments and then stands within the departments or the compartments. So each stand is scheduled out for a harvest if it's a productive stand. Yeah, and then what we do is, every year we'll do about 1,000 acres of aspen because we have around 40,000 acres. And so it's a 40-year rotation. So every year we're doing 1,000 acres so we can sustainably harvest continually. So same thing with our northern hardwood stands. It's about a 15-year rotation on that. Take the acreage, divide it by 15, and we can come back and we can harvest that many acres every year. That's in theory if a storm doesn't come blow down or do something like that. But yeah, we can sustainably keep at that, by doing that harvest levels. So.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 timber sales
Second.
as presented.
All in
You
favor?
want you want a dollar number in there or no?
No, you don't need
Okay.
to. The dollar in the sold value, that's always, so it's, the sold value is an estimate, right?
Yep.
So the way that goes, sorry to arch in.
No, you're good.
But that's going to be based off of what actually gets cut, so those volumes can always be plus or minus, especially when it comes to logs are a big thing. Sometimes that cuts out really well. Sometimes cut the tree down and the log isn't there, so the volumes always are up and down as far as that goes.
So it's just an estimate.
It's an estimate. Yeah. The real, we put the sold value, but the real number is the price per unit. So the price per ton or the price per cord or the price per 1,000 board feet. So.
All right, we had a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It's carried. Next is the land sale inquiry. Who's got the info on that, Joe?
I don't know if you want to have them. I can just give background.
Give a background first.
Yeah. So we got email. We had communication earlier asking about a chunk of land if the county was willing to sell. That's not, as a department, that has to come through the committee, then it has to go through the county board, and then it has to go to the state for approval. When it comes to land sales, it's the county can say, oh yes, but the state still has to approve because we are in the Wisconsin County Forest program. So the state statute 2811 kind of governs how that goes. So that has to be shown how the sale of a chunk of land is good for the state as a whole, not just the county. So for instance, if the county, they've had counties where they've said, yeah, we want to sell a chunk of land, we're going to take this money and put it towards plow truck. Well, that doesn't do for the good of the whole, and the state declines that. So the land sale is bigger than just here. It has to go through the state as well. There's also the part of, and I don't know how that yet works. This is where carbon does. That carbon project also does impact that. Is, there is some payback there because you are getting rid of land that was in the program. So that there is part of that. County land, when it's in that county forest program, even in front of the carbon stuff, that the state part of things, it's easy to enroll land. It is difficult to sell land, just straight up. So just that's kind of background on selling land. This chunk, the individuals had sent a email and I said, well, the best thing to do is to come with a proposal. It's not up to me to say no, whether we sell land or not. That's bigger things. So that's the proposal is. So, and the chunk of land is, it's a chunk along the river, along, the Jump River, south of Kennon. It's, south of the river. The chunk is, as far as the only access for public is along the river. So a lot of frontage on the river. But that's the access for public, so. That.
All right. I guess I'll ask if Christie would like to state your name and where you're from, and 3 minutes for comment here.
Does this work? Yes. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Christy Spear. I'm from Spear Law Office. I represent the Higgins family who has presented this proposal to you. As Joe outlined, the parcel that we are interested in abuts the Higgins property on the south. They're the only adjoining landowner. And then there's the South Fork of the Jump River in between. So it is a long sliver of land with significant water frontage, but presently it is inaccessible to anybody but from the river. So for the county to harvest anything presently, as best we can tell, is not an option. You'd have to cross the river to get equipment in there. It's a very steep bank. So presently there isn't any income being produced from the property. So the proposal is to purchase the property. We put forward a sales price of $65,000. Came up with those estimates based on other sale prices in, excuse me, in the area. So the nice thing would be there would be money for the county up front, and then it also would put it back on the tax rolls. So we're looking at trying to create income for the county long-term in that regards as well. So we have both the future and future income for that as well. The Wisconsin DNR does need to approve this. So preemptively, we did reach out to Nicole Smith, a DNR agent who likely would be the one to review this. She said at her initial review, she saw no reason for immediate rejection. The concern that the DNR does have is over access. They're wanting to make sure that they're not limiting public access to property, and presently access is only available to the public from the river. So being that we're not like eliminating an access point, she did not see any immediate concerns about that. So I'm here with to answer any further questions, as well as a representative from the Higgins family if the board and committee has any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
If we have an address, I can. Sure.
Number 17538 and 17539. I do have extra hard copies of maps if anybody would like as well.
And would Lindsay like to speak also on this?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Lindsay Wilkinson. My father is Michael Higgins, the individual who's interested in purchasing this strip. He's a physician. He works with special needs kids. He really wanted to be here today, but this little fella that he's been working with this morning is having a hard time and he couldn't get away. So he's very sorry he's not here himself. But I'm also a physician, but I'm a veterans physician. I work part-time and with my kids part-time. So I'm more flexible. That's why I'm here instead of him. My family really enjoys coming up to my dad's property. We come up here every couple of months or so. We really enjoy being outdoors. We hike, we fish. We got an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old that love the river. They love, stomping around and being outdoors. And we're making lots of memories there. And this, having this additional strip makes it a natural border to the property. So we kind of can establish like where we are, where we're supposed to be. It's also, a beautiful piece of land that would complete the property. And I think for the county, I think the price that they've offered is think my dad said was 3 times what we paid for his, 5 times towards that what the Mill Street comp was. So hopefully it's a fair price, and it's not really usable by the county as it is right now. And as Christy said, would put it on the tax roll. So hopefully it's beneficial to y'all, beneficial to us. If you have any questions or anything, I'm pretty well read in on it and can answer any questions y'all might have. Thank you for letting me speak today.
Just,
Anybody have questions for her at all?
No, not really.
just, it's these two here, correct?
Yep.
And then where is the property you're
It's
representing?
below that.
Just
Is that?
south.
Yep. Yeah, that, yep.
Right.
So
Okay,
it's that
so
strip.
And so it's these two. But we own this one, so wouldn't we have access from the north?
It's
Across the river.
south of the.
Yep.
Yeah, so
It's the
the
strip.
Oh,
Or
got it.
below.
It's not the complete 40.
No, no,
Got
no,
it.
it's just the
That's a
strip,
good
yeah.
clarification, because I was like,
just below just
so
the strip
this
below the,
chunk here.
it's
Sure.
Yeah.
I just,
Everybody's
so
got a
people
map.
online
We should
can
have a map in our
understand.
package.
Nick didn't have one yet.
Well, and people online can't see
Yeah.
the map, so thank you.
so it's just the strip south of the river. It's about 13 acres.
Zoom out.
And
Yeah, hold on, let me.
there's no road that goes there. It's only accessible by the river to the
Question for
public.
Joe.
Yeah.
Is, if this is enrolled in carbon credits, and I don't know if it is or not, but if it is, how can we, what's your plan for managing it if we keep it? How do we harvest?
Yeah, so this particular chunk, you're most likely not going to harvest any timber on it. A lot of it's RMZ type deal, anyways. We're riparian management zone, and you're going to stay out of anyways. Some of that's as far as the actual bank is steep there and whatever, and we would stay up top of that on typical harvest anyways.
But is it part of the carbon credit plan or?
Correct. So it's part of the county forest. So all productive acres, and it's productive acres. It's just that it's a chunk that typically what we have to do is on sales. If you look at timber sale maps, you'll see a retention area, and part of being certified, like FSC certification. That's one of the requirements of that is you're supposed to have a retention area on clear cuts. So something like this is what we use for a retention area, since value of trying to harvest something like that is not there, right? So,
Correct.
so we take something like this and we put it as our green tree retention area. It's a good place to just leaving trees along the river, protect the river. Also, value wise, it doesn't come out. So that's what we typically use for chunks like this for. So they're scheduled and they're part of a stand, but they're not going to actually get cut, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because as you said, for retention, you got to have it anyway. And this is kind of an easy out for coming up with retention acreage, correct?
Correct. Yeah. And that's a lot of times what, we have quite a few, rivers or creeks or that kind of thing or even a chunk that's in the middle of a swamp where, to cross that just to get that, the value just doesn't come out. So it's a good spot to retain that versus trying to find a way to cut it. So.
Right. And just to clarify, under the carbon credit stuff, we have the option to move land. So there's a process, right? We go through. It doesn't mean you can't. What they're preventing is large chunks. So you couldn't go sell 500 acres. But we originally, when we made the contract, we talked about if there was a 10-acre parcel that we wanted to move around, like we've done with was it Ram property and one other one or did we just purchase?
We just purchased.
There was one we've
purchased
in the past we've swapped, right? Like a corner for a corner, some for some. But either way, their problem is once you take something out, you can't add it back in. But Blue Source, when we negotiated, was well aware of there's times in our past, whether there may be far and few in between, but if there was a couple acres here or there, that is a option. So that way people can't use carbon credits is something to complain about. That's not an issue in this situation.
But where is our county access to those, the rest of that 40? To those, that property, the county's property, where is the access to that?
The land to the west of the river is County N is over on that side.
An N off of County N then?
Yeah, yeah. And then I to the north.
Oh,
Another thing maybe worth mentioning is that my dad has the property on the DMAP program. So his interest, our family interest, is to keep it in its natural pristine state where, you know, that's how we would like to keep it, is a place to go and be outside and hike and do those kinds of things, not disrupt anything on the riverfront.
yes, go ahead.
So DNR liaison.
We make you on the mic though, so people.
Yes, we can hear you.
Great.
Yeah. Come on, Carl.
So when I did our department update, so with county forest, we do get hours from the DNR, and Kyle is the county forest liaison. So he works for DNR, but he puts on almost half his job is putting hours into the county forest and doing forest management along with us. So very valuable part of the team. So.
Yep, and I just, is it on? Okay, just wanted to make a comment. So something like this would require a county forest withdrawal. That's aside from the carbon issue. And the county forest withdrawal is lengthy. It requires us to do follow up on real estate. I have to get DNR waters involved. It's not impossible, but it's lengthy. It's put in place to be difficult. Because of just removing land, selling off county forest land. So again, it's not impossible. I just wanted to make the comment that it can be done. Trades are much more easy to do, trading parcels of land, but just a flat out withdrawal is more difficult. So just wanted to make that comment, and so that's all I had on that.
Thank you. Just another question for Joe, or if this would happen, would it have to go to public hearing to sell land, county land, or not?
I would have to look into it more if that's required. Into the withdrawal process is lays it all out what you have to do, and I'm not sure if that's part of it. I would almost assume so.
Just curious on that. Go ahead, Joe.
Do you have any buildings on this property currently on the other 160 acres? Or is the purchase of this property intended to be able to build something?
No, there's no intention to build anything. There's a barn type structure where my dad keeps his ATVs and his fishing equipment, but no, the intention is simply to keep it pristine in its natural state.
It's very rare for somebody to come and buy a piece of property when the county owns it and it's free, especially when you control the access points to it and whatnot. So that's my only questioning. I am unfamiliar with this area and whatnot. So that would be my only question is, is it being purchased with the intent to build on the river and whatnot?
No, there's no intent to build. This is a family side story, but it's been my dad's dream since he was 25 years old to have just a piece of quiet land to go to. When he was a young man, he had hoped that would be Wyoming, but my mom refused to go that far away from her parents. So this is my dad's lifelong dream to have this beautiful natural state property to go to and fish and hike and share with his grandkids and just, and so if we have this sliver up at the north part of the property, we just, it just makes more sense. We know where we're at. We have the natural boundary of the river to show us where we are. It just kind of makes sense, I guess.
Sure.
And it doesn't seem to be useful terribly to the county. So I don't know.
It looks
Go.
like, here's where it is, Jordan.
Sure.
So
Patty, go ahead.
When we talk time frame, is this more than 12 months or more like a 5-year thing that takes forever?
I don't think it's a forever process, but it'll take time. That's for sure.
At least
9
6.
to 12 months.
I would say between 6 and 12, yeah.
Sorry, where were my,
Yeah.
would you like to say that, Lindsay?
Between 6 and 12 months is the answer. If it pleases the court.
wrong court.
Shitty. If I may again, you already have access to it because it's public land. You just can't build anything permanent on it or so. And I'm not for or against it. I'm just asking a question. So what,
Why does he want it?
yeah. I mean,
It's the crumbs
It's
in
not
the,
like you're-
it's the crumbs in the pie pan, you know, you can't leave them.
it's not like you're trespassing on private property when you're on that land.
Is there gold under there?
No, I don't think so. I think it just, in his mind, it kind of completes his parcel where he's just up to the river, and he can, use it. It's his. He can walk up and down the banks, and I mean, not that he can't now, but just makes it more whole in his mind. It's kind of it's really what it
Oh,
is.
I can understand that.
Yeah. Sure.
Going back to the question that you asked Jordan about building and such, the family is comfortable putting a restriction on there that they wouldn't subdivide or build for a set period of time too, to make sure that the aesthetic integrity of the property would remain intact. As
Well, that's my biggest concern is that, hey, we get this and now we have 160 acres with 2,700 feet of frontage and it turns a $200,000 property into a $2 or $3 million property
Sure.
potentially, so that's my biggest concern with it,
That's certainly understandable. And that's why we put in our letter that we would be open to a restriction
Yeah,
to make sure that that didn't happen.
sure.
So.
He just wants it left alone. He would have a stroke if somebody built something else on it. He didn't even want to build the barn. So
Toys are too expensive to leave out though.
that's what my brother said.
Michelle, you're awfully quiet today. Processing.
Anybody else got any comments? I think I have to do more research myself into this before I would make any decision.
I assume, Kyle, there's costs to take the land out, right? I mean, you're gonna have time and effort and someone from the state's gonna need to look into it as well.
Yeah, there's multiple resources that have to be used in the process for county forest withdrawal. Like I said, it's not impossible. It's just lengthy. Takes some time, and the burden is it worth it to do? So is it beneficial for the state landowners, for the state of Wisconsin and the county, to do this?
Mhm.
I think I asked the question, like with a public hearing, I have to look into that, but I think there may have to be one. And I'll look into this process. It's been a while since I've done it, actually.
No,
We have done it in
there's-
the past. Been a while. Most of the time there's a trade.
Sure.
Instead of the full withdrawal of land. So,
Well, there's nothing saying that we couldn't approve it here, that the state won't say no and reject it, is what you're saying.
correct.
Okay.
If you're gonna keep asking Kyle questions, you should go to the mic.
He's got a loud voice.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Michelle had a question.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Is the rest of the property in forest crop?
Yes. Yes, within MFL, correct. Do you want me to go to Mike?
The response from them was yes, they're in forest crop.
I guess one flag I see is, does this set a precedence for other property also?
That's always the
You know, I
major tire kicker.
be one like I have there a little bit.
Yeah, so the 140 just it's managed forest closed, so they paid $325 in taxes on the 140.
I think, unfortunately, we can't make a full decision on it today. That we would need to have Kyle and Joe look into the possibility of the transaction to get us more of a timeline. And whatnot. I guess that's kind of my input on it, and I need to look into it a little bit more as well.
Would you like to make that a motion to?
Sure, I will make that a motion that,
If we table it, then it comes back, or do we have to postpone it?
postpone it to the next meeting. So we can do a little bit more research and get some more information on a time frame. And I'm sure we probably can't get costs because it's probably a per acre thing, maybe.
I'd have to look, but we don't, it's not like we pay a back tax, like if you were in the MFL program and you pulled
Yeah.
your land,
Yep.
that you don't pull out.
Yeah.
It's more into the time end of things that you'd be,
Sure.
dealing with but as far as cost to the
Yep.
DNR, I don't think there's but don't quote me on that either. That could
Okay.
be wrong. So.
Okay. So yes, I'll make a motion to postpone it for some more research to be done on the possibility of the land sale.
You have to put a date in, according to Robert's rules.
A date to the next meeting,
Okay.
yeah,
So
to the next
Date
do,
to the
do we
next
do it
meeting.
for August to be safe?
by August meeting, you're saying? Well, I would think in June or July we would have a meeting, right? One of the two?
You could just put next meeting.
Yeah, and to the next meeting, sure.
Next meeting.
So in case there is a postponement of June.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And so just to clarify, you're requesting Joe look into the process, what it entails.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. And then between Joe and Kyle, I think Kyle said he's done it before. It's just gonna take a little bit of questioning again to
Yeah.
spark that fire in the back burner, right, Kyle? Yep.
Right?
Probably not the answer you're looking for today, but at least it wasn't a definitive no yet.
We're very pleased. If there's anything more we can do, please let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item 9 there, survey needed. Where are we talking?
Okay, so this is just background. This property out Camp 5 is north of Lugerville. The Camp 5 block, I guess, is what we call it, just because Camp 5 Road is the road that leads out to the property, the county property. So the photo that I sent or gave you guys this morning, the blue area is a final harvest pine plantation that we have set up, and the one chunk is against a private parcel. That private parcel sold recently, so that person that used to own that, there's an old fence that's down on the ground that was always used as the property line. The guy would come into the office every once, so that was always what had been used. that this area, there's fences that are in places that aren't quite right. This one's probably pretty close, but there's not any information out there for us to really run a line on. We're not surveyors besides, so there's a few survey markers out there on some of but some of that has to be broken down by a surveyor in order for us to get the line done correctly there. So my Quest is the surveyor that has the I don't know what you contract, I guess, as the county surveyor. So we just go through them on this. It's a time and materials type of quote with a max of 3710 is what he put on there. What that would do is get us. They're gonna have to do a little more work than this because you got to break a section down. So he's got to get a couple of the quarter corners done, identify the center of the section. But we would have him put posts all the way around that 80 that goes through there, because down to the south, there's popple that'll be needing to be cut probably in the next 15 years again as well. So this is kind of time sensitive because the sale's already set up, and they'll probably cut it next winter is probably the timeline on it. And it's, again, red pine's pretty expensive, and if we cut somebody else's wood, it gets
It's
even
more
more
expensive.
expensive.
So
Yeah.
you indicated that this was a request by the new landowner?
Well, the landowner said, he goes, I don't think your line is right. And I said, that about the fence, and that's what we've always used, but
Well,
understand
I
his
think it's a
concern.
good idea, but can we get him to pay half?
Well, and Nick had said that too. As the person that's cutting the trees, it's more on us than on him, right? So if we cut it and then he's mad, then he gets it surveyed, we're paying for the survey and we're paying double for the trees. I'd rather just pay for the survey and be done with it. That's
Yeah,
right. And I can request of him,
Something to
to
committee,
pay for a little bit, but
asking questions.
yeah, it just we're the ones doing the action right now, and so I to go to somebody and say, hey,
Well, this is a beneficial thing for years to come, with sales there.
yeah, and we don't have the capability to I mean, we can come up with a close answer, but close answer is not what we want.
Do you have an estimate of the cost of this survey?
Yeah,
30,
37,
it says it's that should be the max, 3710 up to.
I didn't read the back.
Oh, it's in the regular packet, back
Sorry.
page. Sorry about that.
So it could be less.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah. Kind of depends on how fast they roll through it.
I'll find it. There you go.
Where's Alan?
Which for this amount of work, I think is a pretty
Yeah.
reasonable number from.
So
survey.
you need from us approval to go ahead
Well,
with this, or what do you need from us?
kind of up to Nick in a way too, that the part where, could we dig money out of
This is not your
budget.
regular budget.
Yeah,
so
I
right.
think-
right.
Right. So this is more of letting you guys know that this is something that needs to be done. We want it on the record that we're doing it. It may cause an area of our budget to go over a couple bucks because we don't know if Land Info has the ability. I don't know if you talk to them.
Yeah. and
Sometimes they
that's-
can help out with surveys. We sometimes have money down in the survey office to do stuff. Ultimately, we're letting you know this is. Do you want us to not take the risk and move forward with this? So at the, we'll find the money
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd make a motion that you go ahead with the survey.
there. That works too.
Second.
We have a first and a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. Oh, Joe's on for a department report here.
Okay, for the department report, it's been a lot of park work recently. Part waters on in all the parks. Every year the Ashland County comes down and does they have the state contract for doing the water sampling, so they're they're doing testing this week. So that's getting completed. The couple parks we did hazard trees, concrete park, Smith Lake. We're still working a little bit on cleanup. Most of that's complete. Prison crew's still actually helping out, which is great. They're working on at Salberg, a couple of things. Today they're doing some ADA surfacing for the walking trails. So there's some areas that couldn't get to with the machine, so they're wheelbarrowing it out. So pretty good to have those guys around. The grass growing, we're into mowing already too. So that's starting this week as well. With that Salberg project, we got, so they got to do well testing monthly for the first year for the new wells. So working through that as far as how that's going to get hooked up. Yesterday they were out there, or 2 days ago, something like that, taking a look. So then working on the ADA surfacing, that takes some time because it's just a small skid steer and running that around. It's takes time to do, but that Blue Rock really does set up nice. We'll probably borrow the highways compactor for setting those trails, and that should be a really nice surface. Playground, we got that rubber chips. We did get that spread out the other day. After the meeting here, I'll be meeting with the concrete guy for sidewalks and also that small pavilion for doing the slab on that. So Wi-Fi, they were working on boring through the park and getting that in. We gotta come up with some poles and just to get reception, because if you're gonna put it's all wireless. Well, if you put your receiver over here and it's not high enough, then a camper blocks it, and then the person doesn't get Wi-Fi. So defeats the purpose. So we got to get poles that are
Shimmy up a tree.
It'll be something like that. Nah. But so that's kind of where we're at on the Salberg. The first date for camping is going to be, it's like the Friday before Memorial Day in the new area. So that we are planning to open that. There's still going to be stuff to do. So it's still going to have, like I was saying with that new pavilion area, some of that's going to be torn up around kind of by the playground area. And so we'll have to ribbon stuff off, and it just gonna have to work around just like any other project. Big Falls, they called and said the bathrooms were going to be installed. They're looking to install in July, so we get down there to get that all set up as well. So it's coming down. Also, the plants all popping here now too. Doing a little bit of invasive spraying as well for garlic mustard mainly. They're out today doing that. So, and I don't know, I guess I could have used it as public comment, but we did have a complaint for Smith Lake. Lady called Mr. Polachek, and he did forward her on to us. So she had complaints about the sites not being level and didn't feel safe leveling her camper and whatever. So we'll look into that. As far as sites go, doctor up. It is tough within there. You have hills, and you're going to have to level your camper somewhat. There's, we're not flat as a pancake ground. It's going to be the same thing on the new addition. There's a couple that are really nice and flat, and then you go to the next spot, and there's a slight hill. So people are going to have to level a little bit, and it isn't going to be perfect. We try to do our best there, but so that's kind of where we're at.
My question is, do we have any long-term reservations for the new part?
Nothing long-term, no.
Like,
so you can do a month, and you can do the 4 month.
And you have none of those?
No.
And
part of that, it's going to take time.
Yeah.
As far as get word out on that.
But we do have some short-term reservations.
Yeah, there's a
in the
couple.
part then?
There's a few. There's not many. There's a few. So we'll see if that picks up. I would assume that this year will be slow to start, and we'll see how it picks up. So
okay. Anybody else got questions for Joe? All right, thank you very much, Joe. Vouchers, have they all gone around?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say likewise. And we are adjourned.